Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
Mindfulness, for that matter, will help you through any situation because it actually tells you to embrace situations in life. We constantly have this inner dialogue, and now science research tells us we have around 60 to 75,000 thoughts a day. And sadly, most of them are negative or repetitive. That means that we're consistently either, thinking about the past or thinking about the future. So the sad part is we actually never ever enjoy this present moment. And I'm really talking from experience that whenever you've been through any crisis, any challenge, what's going on in your mind is actually far worse than what's happening right there. When we are thinking about anything negative, Prerna, brain gets engaged completely, right? So we're emotionally now engaged, we're producing those stress hormones, and then that completely commands our mood. So we feel stressed or unhappy. If we are mindful, we actually train ourselves to become the awareness behind our thoughts. And when we do that, the brain realizes, oh, this is not a reality. I'm just observing my thoughts. So the brain's potential to produce hormones which actually cause stress gets reduced. Now, from that point, when we get into mindful parenting, people, again, mindful parenting books tell you observe the child and all of that. But I genuinely believe parenting is about bringing up the parent and not the child, because you look at a toddler, they are so mindful. They're the quickest to forgive. They're so happy, they're not bothered about tomorrow at all. We train them. Study, you will fail. Don't forget what you did day before yesterday, how badly you fell. So we train them to not think about the moment, but to consistently think about the past or be worried about the future. So even during this time, during COVID times, during this entire phenomena that we're going through, mindfulness is amazing. To really center, to not worry about, oh my God, I'm going to lose it all. No, this is the moment to really recharge your batteries and say, now, how can I be the fountainhead of creativity? So that, in a nutshell, is my belief, my outlook to mindfulness, that you can truly embrace any challenge, surrender. From that point, the genius inside awakens naturally. Every parenting book is talking about disciplining children, is about creating this factory line production of children, where we have to really understand, look at us adults, Prerna, we have taught our children everything that's wrong. We ourselves have learned everything that's wrong. We have been told that we will be happy if we are successful and if we will have lots of money. And now look at what research says. Mental illness, 80% connected to this mad obsession to be successful. Why is that? Because in schools, in colleges, in homes, including us, are well-meaning parents, are well-meaning teachers. I say well-meaning as in because we're all a product of this parenting baggage, right? We're carrying this generation. And we sadly have one education system and we expect all children to fit into that. So right away, the first thing of mindful parenting is appreciate your child for how they are and let them just bloom and flourish. So parents need to just look at themselves in the mirror and say, I need to nurture myself. I need to heal myself, understand what my authentic self is. And from then on, I'll be able to accept my child the way my child is. You can have your priorities as parents, you can have your priorities. So my priority at this point is just be kind. Other than that, she can do whatever she likes. And she can play and she can enjoy and of course, too much screen time is not encouraged. But then we as parents, me as Sudhanshu, hardly have any screen time. So we'll use our phone very rarely when we're with her. And if we're in the midst of a work call, then we consistently communicate to her. So she never ever feels relegated where this technology is concerned. no one can tell you how to be a parent. And so when I write the book, Building Happy Family, it's a very humble request to actually awaken your inner child. So Sudhanshu and I talk a lot about our childhood. We talk about, how we've really been brave sometimes, or not accepted challenges, or not learned from our mistakes. And then we have those conversations with her. So we talk about rituals in the book, Building a Happy Family, that your approach should be holistic. You have to understand yourself, that how would you like to be treated? Would you like to be told, if you're a spouse? But having a humorous outlook to life will always make parenting enjoyable. Society puts up that pressure, right? We buy into culture. Culture tells you you'll be happy when you're married. No, that's not true. Culture tells you'll be happy when you'll be a child. No, that's not true, because if that was true, then every marriage you'd have happy couples. Every mother would be happy after the child is delivered. And as you know, women get very depressed after they have babies too. Basically, culture thrives when they tell you you're incomplete. And that's why my book begins with talking about Panchatantra, where education was not about telling you that anything outside is going to make you happy. The kingdom is within. So happiness is much more than just being happy, because you could be happy watching TV all day. But what I mean is, embracing challenges, learning how to be resilient, how to really face your challenges. And then that's the pure joy. Culture will always tell you, Prerna, that you're going to be happy when you have a baby, or you're going to be happy when you're going to be married. But it's actually not the truth at all. And you have to consistently remind yourself you're perfect without anything extrinsic. Of course, I was bound by culture. And more so, I did the tests, before I was getting married, and I was told I will not have children. And that's the conversation I made with my husband. I was so amazed, and I was so happy that I made the right decision of marrying someone who is so evolved. Not just because he's an international law barrister and into human rights. So automatically, your work changes you. But his outlook that marriage is not about children. And many a times I hear celebrities and people say, primarily marriage is about children. No, marriage is about companionship. It's about you really getting to know yourself first and then enjoying the path. It's about growth. So relationships are about growth. And where children are concerned, he just completely took the pressure off me. So that really helps. So it really helped me to understand, great if I have a child, great if I don't, I could always adopt. They challenge you at all times that you're not being mindful. If you're observing your toddler at all times, because a toddler has his or her mind, they're totally authentic. They're not here to do what you consistently want them to do, while we force them. And sadly, some take very harsh steps by raising their voice, by dominating their children. In all aspects, she teaches me to be patient, to let go of ego. Wow, such a big thing, to let go of ego at all times, to be humble at all times, to let go and to forgive and not be worried about the future. That is the biggest thing. So when I had facial paralysis, the pain was not that my face looked the way it did. The pain was more about I had to cancel a whole lot of concerts that I'd committed to, not being able to communicate, not being able to talk, not being able to sing, not being able to get the work, to lose financial freedom. So all of that affected me much more than the face. And I'm so glad that took away the pressure, because we are slaves to the way we look. So that helped me a lot in my journey, because it put me all alone in a room. It made me not meet my friends because of the fears that I didn't want to be judged with the situation I was in. And that was a blessing in disguise. So by default, I started staying alone, which is the first step. You must learn to spend time with yourself. And then, you lay the strongest foundation with gratitude. And it was difficult for me to go through gratitude at that time. So all our parents, right? We have a wonderful tradition, be it Islam, be it in Hinduism, be it in Christianity, to be grateful. I spent a lot of time with people who, helped shift my mindset. And then I made a vision board that I'm going to do everything I can to recover. But if not, there was no stress. I was anyways moving in the direction of fitness. I can do this. If I don't recover, I can do this. So that's the mindset we must all have. That's when we'll really embrace any challenge. And then, within 2 years, I was absolutely fine.